Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you guys are doing well today. Lionel Messi is obviously known as being one of the greatest football players to ever live and one of the greatest athletes to really grace the sport, as well as kind of just the world in general. There are a lot of people that look up to him, and obviously being watch enthusiasts, we're always looking at people's wrists. So we're going to be discussing some of the watches that we've seen Messi wear or some of the collaborations that he's done with other companies who create watches. Interestingly enough, I couldn't really find too much about watches that Messi wore, but there have been some really interesting collaborations that he's done with some brands to create some fairly unique pieces that are obviously limited edition and very hard to come by. So we're going to be going over those watches with you. But before we get into that, if you haven't already, be sure to smash that like button for us. It really does help us out. And also, if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn the notifications on. So like I said, Lionel Messi is considered one of the best football players to ever live. What he is capable of doing on the field is really, there are not many people that can do it now, but also in the history of the game, not really many people have been able to really come anywhere close to the abilities that he has. There's been a lot of talk about him with moving to other clubs, but he has decided to stay at Barcelona instead of going to court to try and pay that massive 700 million euro buyout clause in order for him to move. So obviously he was on the top of our mind, and we decided to connect him with watches. Interestingly enough, like I said, didn't really see a lot of watches on his wrists in any pictures that I could really find. So these are some of the watches that he's done a lot of collaborations with other brands. So the first one I found was actually a smartwatch. This is the Huawei Watch 2. It's a Porsche designed Huawei Watch 2. It's a smartwatch that Lionel Messi obviously worked with Huawei to sponsor. And it's interesting that as an athlete, obviously you get approached by brands to do a lot of different deals, and I'm sure that this Huawei one was a fairly lucrative one for him. The smartwatch itself, I think, is kind of wasn't really the greatest smartwatch compared to a lot of the other watches that have been released by watch companies like Tag Heuer, the Apple Watch. Even when you compare it to some of the things that Fitbit has come out with, this Huawei watch really never really took off as much. It didn't have a lot of the smooth functionality, but was probably a lucrative deal for Lionel Messi, and there are some pictures of him wearing it along with the sponsored ads that he wore. Do I like this watch? Not particularly. I think there are other smartwatches that are a little bit more interesting, like the Big Bang E from Hublot. I also think the Tag Heuer connected watch is pretty cool. So I probably would skip out on this Huawei smartwatch. The second watch that we found was a collaboration that Lionel Messi did with Jacob & Co. This was the Jacob & Co. Chrono Messi in white gold, titanium, and baguette. So this is a very, very sporty watch. What's interesting about this watch is it's obviously from Jacob & Co. and it's their rendition of kind of like a very, very sporty, large watch. It reminds me a lot of the Hublot Big Bang. And so you've got a chronograph with this, it's a white cased watch with some red accents on the crown. Then you have this white rubber strap, and if you look at the dial, you have a red chronograph hand with some blue and white accents, which I think are taking their inspiration from the Argentinian flag that obviously Messi represents, as it is his nationality. And so this watch, like I said, is a real sports watch. This watch is huge. This is a 47 millimeter watch in titanium and white gold, which is, that's just huge. It's a huge piece. This memo sale is 44 millimeters, and that's how it fits on my wrist. So you can only imagine what this one would probably look like on my wrist. If you look around the bezel of this watch, it doesn't actually have one, but you can see these baguette diamonds that are also located on there. And this watch was a limited edition piece of only 37 that were created. I think this is obviously been seen on Messi's wrist, and it's a fairly unique watch, being that there's 37 pieces, but you really have to be ready to wear a relatively large and relatively sporty piece that's really it's going to stand out on your wrist and might feel quite interesting. I think being in titanium, it's probably a little bit lighter, but I think it's still going to have a really big presence on your wrist. I like rubber straps. I really love rubber straps on sporty watches, so I think this is a really cool piece as well. So that was the second watch, and the third watch is from none other than Audemars Piguet, and this is the Royal Oak Leo Messi limited edition chronograph in platinum. This is quintessential Audemars Piguet. It is a Royal Oak chronograph. You can see the watch is in in platinum, so it has that kind of cooler stainless steel look to it, but obviously it's in platinum. It has a blue dial with a blue leather strap. You can see the date function between 4 and 5 o'clock, and then obviously the chronograph hands. This is going to fit like most Audemars Piguet watches, but the difference is it's in limited quantities that this was produced. It's nice to see something a little bit more traditional when it comes to watchmaking on Leo Messi's wrist. Audemars Piguet obviously is known for creating absolutely beautiful pieces and is very well respected within the watch community. Not saying any other brands are not, but this is a very, very traditional collaboration that was produced in collaboration with Lionel Messi. My thoughts on this: it's kind of just like any other Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Not saying the Audemars Piguet Royal Oaks are any stranger or bad, but there's nothing too special to say about this. I do like the fact that, like I said, he has done something with a very traditional watch company like Audemars Piguet, and I'm pretty sure everyone would love this type of sports watch on their wrist. So it's a beautiful piece nonetheless, and I really love it. Looking at the watches that we've discussed, the Huawei is probably my least favorite. The Royal Oak is probably my favorite, and then the Jacob & Co. is probably my second favorite. It's interesting that I haven't really seen a lot of watches on Lionel Messi's wrist. It just might come down to the fact that, we are watch enthusiasts. Lionel Messi probably likes watches, but he's not a huge advocate for them. Regardless, I think he probably has some fairly good taste if he is making collaborations with watch companies like Audemars Piguet or Jacob & Co. So good on you, Lionel Messi, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on your wrist to see what else you end up putting on there. So those are the watches that I found on Lionel Messi's wrist. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have seen some other watches that Lionel Messi has worn, be sure to put it in the comments section so I can take a look at them. I might have missed something, obviously, but it'd be interesting to see what you guys are able to find. So put that in the comment section below, and if you did not do in the beginning of the video, be sure to smash that like button for us. It really does help us out, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here, or if you continue to come back to this channel and you are not subscribed, you might as well subscribe so you're notified when we do upload. And with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.